everyone. Happy Friday Eve, man. Hope everybody's having a great week. We are already at the weekend. It has been kind of a funny week. 4th of July, we were off Monday and Tuesday. Came in Wednesday for the next 3 days. So it's already the weekend here. So hope everybody's having a good week. A lot to talk about today. We're going to start with the interview with Bacon Network. Get a little bit, know about what he did the past few weeks. He was at Noonan, Paddock Camp. So we're going to talk to him. He had some standouts there, so we're going to find out a little more information about him. We have a big game coming up, too, in another month or so, month and 12 days. August 18th, number 14 team in the country, Langston Hughes versus number 12 team in the country, Carrollton. August 18th, that's going to be an electric game. I think Bacon is going to be in attendance to watch that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that is going to be a matchup. We're going to talk about that as well. And in the second segment, we're going to talk about 3 players. One's from Texas. His name is Andy Medina. Plays for Cleveland, Texas. Really electric athlete. Can't wait for you guys to see some of his film and his highlights. Definitely an underrated player. He's not ranked, but he definitely has the tools, I think, to play on the next level. And then number 2, we'll talk about Luke Stansell. He's going to be playing for Eagles Landing Christian, a rising freshman class of 2027. And we'll also talking about Drew Keller, a 2027 linebacker, rising freshman as well for Gainesville. And to conclude with my top 10 headlines for the weekend, and talk a little bit about recruiting as well. But without further ado, let's go and get right into it with Bacon Network. What's going on, man?
I'm all right, brother. How about you doing? How you doing on this fine day?
I can't complain, man. Staying busy, man. What about you? What you up to?
Man, same thing. Staying busy, trying to see as much talent as I can before the season starts, and kind of prepare myself mentally for this grind we're finna embark on. Really.
I'm already knowing, man. I'm already knowing. And last week, man, you was actually at a camp. You was at Noonan's Paddock Camp. Seen, I think, about
Yes,
6
sir.
teams or so. You told me about a couple players that stood out. You told me about Ronnie Colton. You say he looks like a beast for Noonan this upcoming season. He's recruited by Georgia, Bama, other schools across the country. And then you said Markel Aguirre, who's going to play for Llewellyn this upcoming season. So who were some other standouts to you? What really impressed you there at the camp?
I think I'll be doing this young man a disservice if I didn't say his name first. Keith Tolbert. He's a DB, wide receiver out of Brookstone, Columbus. He's 5'10", but I didn't really know too much about him. But he just flashed across my camera screen. I was recording. He had like 2 acrobatic catches, and like he's got amazing ball skills. Obviously, vertical. He even played hurt. His ankle was bothering him. He still gritted his way through it. He was talented. Llewellyn's running back, number 28. I cannot remember his name. If you want to tune in to Bacon Network on YouTube, the timestamp is 3:29. You can check out. He's a down here power back, but he's got a little agility to him. And obviously Sidney Rogers from Midtown. He's big. He's a wiry, long frame. I didn't really see no pop from the route running. Maybe I should have studied harder. Skills. Should be somebody to see. North Atlanta, I can't remember anybody from North Atlanta. I was talking to some of the players that they said good bit of their main players was out, but they had a defensive back who's also in that video. He was solid. He had a couple pass breakups. Also number 27, Luella. Also like referring back to the highlights. He had a big pass breakup. He was a physical DB. So yeah.
Gotcha, man. And then what teams there really impressed you? Obviously, Noonan was there. You talked about Llewellyn being there. You talked about North Atlanta. But any teams that just stood out like, okay, hey, they could potentially be dangerous? Because I feel like out of those teams in that area, they're not talked about a lot, right? Especially in Noonan's region. Langston Hughes gets a lot of credit, South Paulding, Douglas County. But just what teams at that camp stood out to you?
North Atlanta. They were missing some of their players, but they brought the energy. They played smash mouth football defensively. If they made a play, that's what let you know about it. And they was gonna make plays, which is the biggest thing a lot of people can talk. But you got to make the plays. Brookstone, them being in a smaller classification, they got some talent. Their running back was decent too. He was another downhill back. And of course, I'm gonna say Noonan.
Of course.
And I think that was it. Northside Columbus was there. I didn't really see too much out of them. The quarterback looked decent. But I would say, and Luella, of course. Yeah, Luella was definitely a team.
Okay, got you, man. And then, as you mentioned prior to you coming on the show, you talked about um, trying to familiarize yourself with a lot of different players and stuff before the season starts and the grind kind of begins for all of us. Yeah, guys, we're about a month away from the season now. It's kind of crazy to say how quick the summer has went, but just what other big events you plan on going to as the season approaches? What else are you trying to look at?
Um, Obviously, Corky Kell, that's a big one. So you get to see the North Atlanta schools. Definitely Parkview is going to be tough. I want to get more to the countryside. I want to go see what Sly County. If all those watch, if you don't know what Sly County is, you sleep at the wheel. They got Solomon, J. Lewis Solomon,
Zayden Walker.
who's got tops. Jaden Walker, his brother. I heard through the grapevine that his brother, he's in the transfer portal. Her Auburn might bring him back to try to lure in Solomon. So we'll see. But
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Definitely want to get the spot. Tap in more with that. There's no big what's his name? Big J, Big Justice Terry's down that way. And I want to go off the beaten path and go see what Alabama has to offer. Give those guys some eyes, man. So that's gonna be my and also show some more love to the area of Noonan. So love to area of Noonan, cover some big events and go serve some people who need some. That's my shit.
Got you, man. I mean, yeah, definitely love your content, man. And get you guys, it's all linked. If you're watching this on YouTube or on our Twitch right now, all of his information is linked below. His Instagram, his Twitter, and also his YouTube channel. So y'all check out Bacon Network as well. But yeah, man, I think I can't wait to see when you post some of that content, man, about just Alabama and going in, because I know you got some roots down there. And like I said, we don't hear a lot about Bama, but it has some really good schools down there. So I'm kind of excited to see that content whenever you're able to get it up. I know you got a story that you're working on about a 4-star player out of there that came from Moody. I can't wait to hear that when that comes out. That's going to be a lot of fun. He really was impressive. Auburn commit, Amon Lane. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch as well. So, but besides that, I think you talked a little bit about your coverage, but I know you're going to try to go to Corky Kell. Is there any like big games you kind of got circled on your calendar that you kind of like, man, this is must see. I gotta be able to find a way to see this game. Is there any games that just you kind of circled on your calendar like must see TV?
So I should be better prepared for this question, but obviously Carrollton Langston Hughes, that's must see TV. Noonan East Coweta, must see for me. Who else? I'm gonna say Sly County, Manchester. Yeah, definitely those three for sure.
Okay, and then let's talk about the kind of electric matchup I mentioned at the top of the show, right? 14 versus 12. Langston Hughes coming off a state title, elite quarterback in Prentice Aaron Nolan, 55 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, led them to the first state title, in program history. Then you got Carrollton coming off a state championship berth. Came up a little bit short up against Mill Creek, a team that was on another level. But just what do you think? I mean, I think this matchup got fireworks. Both sides of the ball, star quarterbacks. What do you think about that matchup?
I think big man. I like Langston Hughes. Don't get me wrong, Carrollton is a top flight program, but I think Langston may. I don't even think they're gonna shock. I think they got a couple of more athletes. I think they're gonna hit me in the mouth at home. I know they play well at Grisham Stadium, but I think Langston's gonna win. A little more electricity to offense. Maybe a little more star power on the outside. A little longer wide receiver wise. You got Jacob Gooden, defensive back. It's gonna be close though, but I'm gonna go Big Langston. I love Carrollton, but I gotta go Big Langston.
Can't disagree with that, man. I mean, I know a lot of people were talking about Carrollton being the team to beat out there in 7A. I mean, we got to see now with everything with the transfers and everything as far as Buford. Actually, I need to get your thoughts on that. Actually, speaking of, before I talk more about that, what are your thoughts on Buford landing the number 1 prospect and the number 1 player in the country, quarterback, Dylan Raiola? How do you think that just mixes everything up out there in 7A? Because I thought, in my opinion, man, 7A is wide open, right? You got Milton, Parkview. You got Grayson before that. Gosh, I'm missing some teams. Carrollton,
Walton.
Walton. Yes, thank you. Couldn't think off the top of my head. But like, what do you think that move does for 7A?
Man, I think early on ice on that. I think we was gonna win it all. You know, we did the same thing last year. Of course, had a quarterback question mark, but that's a big move. They're already loaded with 4 and 5 stars. It's a shoe in. Carrollton's gonna be there, but that's Buford's different. Bro. Buford's different. I think that's the icing on the cake for them. Fun fact. I know they had brought Christian Langford in from Westlake EC via Buford, and there was some question marks. Is he gonna stay? He put on his Instagram story like he's locked in, and he's a talented quarterback. So maybe they may run some dual quarterback. I don't know. That's just me talking. But yeah, I just want to add that in there for Christian Langford. Yes, sir.
No, I thought you brought up a great point because I thought undoubtedly because I heard they had a junior quarterback too who's going to be a rising senior. I thought unequivocally before this move that Langford was going to probably get in there, get the starter role. But the fact that he's putting 10 toes down, and he's staying. I mean, I think that says a lot. I think it's going to be interesting how they're going to use him, right? Like, will they use him in certain gadget plays? Will they use him as far as red zone and goal line and stuff like that? I think it's going to be interesting, especially with this being Rayola's, lone season with the program.
What do you think, though?
about Buford getting Rayola?
Buford getting Rayola, and who you got in the Carrollton Langston Hughes matchup?
That's tough. If I had to go off just straight out analyzing the matchup, I'm gonna go with Hughes too. I think it's gonna be close. I like Carrollton. Carrollton's deep. Carrollton got talent over the field. They got good tight ends, good defensive line, good corners. Bryce Hicks don't get enough love, I don't think.
Yeah.
Caleb Odom. I think it's gonna be competitive. But I get a slight edge to Langston Hughes. And then as far as the move for Rayola, I mean, I get it. If you're Buford, I understand it. But I'm a big fan of parity, right? I like competitiveness. I like teams going at it. Like when Walton upset at Buford last year, I loved it. Not because they lost, but because it's like, nobody predicted Walton going in there on the road in the second round on a team that's historic, that's, over the last couple of decades have just been winning state titles. They've won every state title in every classification except 7A. So that's how good historically Buford has been. But I loved it because nobody was like, yeah, what's the Walton team? Don't got no chance. But what we talked about, that quarterback position, that's the kind of thing you want to see. And I knew Jeremy had it. And when you see him play in the Corky Kell and him put up 420 yards on a state championship defense that just won it all, right, in Mill Creek, that showed me this kid has it. So that's one of the reasons. And obviously I talked to Coach Daniel Bruner, and the confidence he was exuding, that's what made me make that pick. And I love it. But I'm hoping, my hope is baking, is that it's still competitive. 7A is. I want it to be. I think Milton, no one's talking about them, but they're a top team on, I think, USA 100 Max Preps or something like that. I think they're going to be a team. I think Parkview looks good. No one's talking about Collins Hill. Collins Hill got a really good defensive line. I think the quarterback, TJ Wilcox, going to take a step forward. Got CJ Hector. Got some good, dudes on their team too. So I think 7A still – it's going to be interesting, despite them getting the top prospect. I just think 7A football in Georgia is a little bit different, but we're going to see.
Right, different in what ways? Like powerhouse or just?
I think with just the competition. Because, you got to remember, right, everybody was like, oh, well, Buford's a dominant team, which they were. But when they made the move to 7A, again, nobody predicted that upset. You know what I'm saying? And I think 7A, it just has some of the best players, some of the best dudes in the country. So I think that's what makes it different. But more about you. You went to I think the Tip Off Classic Special. I went earlier this year. I think might have been late April, early May. But you went to the one for 4th of July, man. I mean, you interviewed the primetime player. It's my goal next season to go see him in person. I have to. 5-star player, Ace Bailey. Just, what were some of your takeaways, man? You told me personally that you thought he got better. What were some things that looked like that he improved upon his game going into his senior season?
Just being more consistent. Ace has been a freak this past year, obviously. He just he just looks a lot more smoother, man. I won't even say he looks more relaxed because Ace is gonna be himself at all times. Um, just shooting the ball, he looks like he's hitting the ball more, shooting the ball more consistently. It's just Ace, man. I feel like, in my opinion, he's the best player in the class. I need to drop these highlights of him from that game they played against Game Elite, which went to the wire. Game Elite won at the buzzer. I cannot remember the young man who iced the game for Game Elite, but kudos to him. But back to Ace, he, he passes the ball well. Like, he made some crazy passes. He can score the ball. He's super athletic. He's gonna play defense, run the floor, block shots, play the passing lanes. He's 6'10", borderline 6'11". If you're doing that size, he's probably like the Victor Wembanyama of Georgia high school basketball right now. He's 100% locked in on Rutgers. I assume he's trying to start a new trend. I like that. I'm a Kentucky fan, so I'm a blue blood fan, but he's gonna go out and try to carve his own lane, kind of like what Travis Hunter and wide receiver IMG want to do with Coach Prime in Colorado State. Not Colorado State, excuse me, Colorado.
Right.
And I'm all for that. Yeah, but go ahead and give him that number one spot. ESPN don't matter.
Right. Are you kind of surprised too, like with his marquee talent being the number 2 player in the country? Surprised he's not taking like a Scoot Henderson kind of a route, who just recently went to, obviously played G League, performed really well, went number 3 overall. You surprised he's not taking that route? Or, like you said, it looks like he's locked in. He's not trying to not transfer. He's not trying to decommit and go to another school, but he's locked in on Rutgers, carving his own path. Does that surprise you at all?
It does surprise me. I would think that he may want to go to a blue blood. I'm not surprised that he doesn't want to go to like G League Ignite or go through the OTE realm or overseas or whatever, because I feel like it's a deeper story. It's going to come out later. Like the point guard, what is his name? J Mike. Somebody's from Jersey. Maybe I'm wrong, but J Mike's committed to Rutgers. He's committed to Rutgers. I think there's an underlying story going on that's going to be told. I'm not surprised.
Got you. And then let's talk about a guy you recognized, I think, early on, right? Nobody was talking about this kid. I did go to a couple of basketball games last season, so I was able to see like 4-star Peyton Marshall, 7-footer. I was able to see, Kells, elite guard, Crystal Henderson. I've seen a couple different prospects last year, but you were recognized earlier Kai Fleming before he even got on anybody's radar, in my opinion. Right now, he's number 26 in the country, top player in the state of Georgia. At Osborne High School. So just what stood out to you early on about his game? What have you liked from what you've seen about him? And then number 2, how did you know about him early? Like, hey, this kid can play. This kid can hoop. Did you see him in different summits? Was it Nike EYBL? Was it traveling? Like, where did you see this kid?
Yeah, first he plays Rob, my friend, Rod Digital. He kept me in the loop. I think it was some little news on Kai before that tournament we went to, but just seeing what teams in and doing the research, and then when I seen him, he was an elite scorer. He plays 3SB, Atlanta Celtics. Everybody knows Atlanta Celtics is like one of the meccas of AAU basketballs in the state of Georgia. And then this summer he got MVP at a big camp. So Kai, man, he's tough, man. He creates off the ball well. He can shoot it. I feel like he needs to get a little bigger. He was a sophomore last year, so that's not a surprise. So man, he just got to keep working, bro. He's special talent. Obviously, he's getting the recognition. He's top 30. Yeah, top 30 on the ESPN charts. He's going to stay home at Osborne. Another player is not going to transfer to a bigger high school like a Wheeler, so that adds to the parity of basketball. Talented kid. He's got a good home. His pops is locked. His pops is a good man, and so yeah, he's got everything going. His head's on straight. He's a good kid.
Gotcha, man. And then, is there any other basketball prospects that have caught your eye? You being at some of these summits and some of these different leagues and things like that. Any other, that have caught your eye?
Yeah, for sure. I'm on the spot right now. Man. I cannot remember this kid's name, but He's leading the classification, leading the score for 15 to 16. Shout out to DTP Entertainment. He's on the news with the live coverage at the Peace Jam. Who else is going crazy right now? Chase Tyler, who's a dual sport athlete. Hiram. He's an electric guard. He'll probably go the football route though.
That's the one committed to Duke, right?
I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one committed to Duke. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's all right now, brother. My mind's a little scatterbrained right now.
Nah, no worries, man.
Basketball, football.
He like I wasn't too concerned with talking hoops. No, I got you, bro. Definitely. Nah, I just wanted to stay in the loop on it. I appreciate the insight on that, man. But I guess last question, man, before I let you get out of here, just obviously we've been talking about football. A couple camps coming up. I know one I'm gonna talk about my top 10 headlines. Exposure camp. Apparently ESPN Rivals on 3 247 Sports supposed to be there. Supposed to be at Central Gwinnett High School, July 29th on a Saturday. But just any prospects just kind of flying under the radar for you that you're excited to see? You mentioned some from New Manchester, you mentioned some from Schley County, but just any out there that you've seen that just impressed you that kind of flown on the radar?
Yes, sir, man. I got a extensive list right here. We'll start with the homeboys first. Miguel Owens, wide receiver out of Heritage of Noonan. He transferred in from Greenville. I heard that he's definitely a D1 wide receiver, so I'm gonna try to get over there. So I'm actually going to stop by their practice this upcoming week. So he's another one to keep an eye out for. Mason McKnight played 7-on-7 for the Hitman this year. He's a 6'3" junior, wiry frame, 6'3" DB. That's essentially all you need to say there. I feel like Northgate down here is going to shock a lot of people. I feel like they're going to go 7-2. Their schedule's not rigorous, but you know what I'm saying. Northgate football hasn't been. It's on an uptrend, but as of late past, it hasn't been what it should have been. But this year and probably going forward, they're going to be a team that college coaches are going to be knocking on the door for. The quarterback, as you may or may not know, Dylan Barber, he was a quarterback for Team Ho. He's tough. He can spin that ball, man. He's got a good arm. He's mobile. I won't consider him a dual threat quarterback, but he's a gamer. I seen him in a middle school championship against Smoker Road where Rodney Colton went to, and they win that game. So I think they lost that game, but they were to the wire. Man, he almost middle school team to a championship. So keep an eye out for Dylan Barber, Northgate High School quarterback. I believe he's 26. Phoenix Moss, school running back. He's cut down the hill. His other plays at Kentucky University. Same team, Trinity Christian. Actually, he's an 8th grade quarterback. He's tough. He's in the Dallas, who's at David. Guys, if you see him sometime on the field as a quarterback in some form of fashion, and lastly, if you don't know, Bakari Hamilton, he's a talented maker who's at the FBU camp. He turned some heads with a big hit, went semi-viral on Instagram, and he runs the ball a little bit, but he's just a 10-backer. So yeah, man, that's my list. I hope I didn't leave.
Nah, you didn't, man. Definitely didn't. No, I'm gonna definitely play back this clip, man, and make sure I get some on my list too, man. I always love to talk about and know about some of the underrated players that aren't on a lot of people's lists, man. So yeah, I think I might even come out with a list this upcoming season before the season starts about just some of the top underrated players, in the state of Georgia. But yeah, man, before I let you go, man, just any closing thoughts? Anything you have for me before I'll let you get out of here.
Man, keep doing what you're doing. First and foremost, man, you're one of the hardest working men in Georgia, if not sports. So keep doing what you're doing, man. I know sometimes the road gets tough, lonely. Keep doing what you're doing. To anybody out there, to the players, to the athletes, do the same thing. Don't get caught up in the social media hype, because it's all about the work. If you're not working hard, you can ask for the cameraman to come see you. Get stay down, believe in your dreams. You never know where hard work can take you. Keep God first. Always make time for your family, and just be great.
100%, man. Y'all go give my boy a follow, man. Bacon Network. All of his social media is linked below. Bacon Network on Instagram, Twitter, and also YouTube, man. He's a journalist on the rise, man. What I love about him, man, is that, he's a hard worker like me as well, and he loves to integrate culture and sports. So he takes a different spin on the content that he does, man. So y'all go check him out, man. Journalist on the rise, man. Y'all get him up to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and get him up to 1,000 followers on Twitter as well, man. But won't be the last time we see you, brother. See you soon, man. Have a good rest of the summer if I don't see you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate your love, man.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. So Bacon Network, all the links are below. Y'all go give him a follow, man. Just want to chat with him a little bit about what's been going on in his realm, what he's been seeing. He'll definitely probably be at the Keller Classic. But he has a good beat on what's going on in the other parts of Georgia, like Southern and out there in that Noonan area, East Coweta. He has a real good spin on that. Sometimes areas we can't reach because, we work out in Roswell. So sometimes it's tough to, get out there. Sometimes it's like a good 2-hour drive for us. So definitely want to get his insight. But we're going to take a quick break. Thank our sponsors, Georgia Farm Bureau, and be back on the other side.
Our mission has always been to support Georgia farmers. That's why we created Georgia Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, providing financial protection that farmers needed. While this remains the same today, we've grown to protect all Georgians through home, auto, and life insurance. From the very beginning and into the future, we stand for every Georgia community.
We are our Farm Bureau.
All right, guys, so we are back. We have a lot of tape to analyze today, man. So I'm excited. I got to thank my guy, Mark Russell. He hit me on the DMs on Twitter, letting me know about some players outside of the state of Georgia. I know a couple right now from, obviously, Alabama, a couple from Ohio. This one is from Texas. His name is Andy Medina. You might knock his height, but, this kid has the ability. He's special. Sometimes, man, I don't think height matters. He's about 5'9", but he just has, he's very twitchy, man. Big playability, athletic. I feel like his quarterback, no knock on him, I feel like he makes his quarterback look good. Some of these plays you're going to see in this film, the throws are underthrown. He's just going to make acrobatic catches, go up, high point the football, even at his 5'9" height. It's insane. So we're going to pull the tape right now and talk about Andy Medina from Texas, Cleveland specifically. All right, so we're going to start first with his high school highlights, and then he had a spring as well. So right here, man, he's getting nice vertical down the field, making a good big play, one-on-one coverage. You don't want to single-handedly one-on-one. Right here, man, you're going to see a nice toe tap grab right here. Double coverage. Let him go up Scott for the football. Drag them toes. Nice catch right there. Very acrobatic. Right here. Love his route running, too. I haven't mentioned that, but he's going to have to adjust to the football. Look, boom. Look him go up, go snag it over the defender. Ain't that crazy? We're gonna instant replay it. Even Graham right now is like, what? You got to see the one-hander he's going to do in a little bit. Look at this. So, single highs. Looks like safety. Just one-on-one coverage right here. Not the best throw. He's beaten. Look at him go up. Snag the football. Can't coach that, man. That's his next level, man. Phenomenal play right there. Here you're going to see a little bit of his kick return game right here. Follow his blocks really well. Team's going to open up. He's going to break that tackle right there. Get to the edge. Set up a big play for his offense all the way to looks like the 45-yard line. Right here, man. Love this play. He's going to just do a nice in and out. The ball's underthrown, but love his route running ability right there. He turns the defender. Right here, he's going to be playing on special teams. Look at this hit he's going to put on the ball carrier. Boom. Nice hit right there. All right here, he's going to be in the middle of the field. This play is going to break down, but he's going to make a play. It just seems like he's always open, wide open in the middle of the field. Again, if it's a better throw, that's probably a touchdown. Right here, he's going to run a little bit of gadget out of the backfield. Nice little out and up wheel route. Again, underthrown. That's definitely a TD. That's one-on-one coverage. Easily. Right here, same thing. Screen. Look how explosive he is. This is the spring film. Look at him just tearing up the defense. No match for him. His speed is elite. Just next level. Okay, this play right here, Graham, this is the play I'm talking about. Another bad throw. Look at this catch. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I think I put it on instant replay, so we going to play that back, y'all. This is next level highlight reel type stuff. Okay, look at this. Little simple bubble screen is going to go out, come back in. Okay, he's wide open, really blocked up. Look at this throw. Let him go get it. Oh, my gosh. That's stuff you see in college and NFL. Come on, man. Are you serious? That's next level, man. And then he's going to turn it into a big play, underthrown, bounces off 2 defenders. I think he turns this into a touchdown. Big play right there for Andy Medina. Next level player. All right, same thing right here. Going to be a breakdown on the play. Look at him get open. Go back into the field view of his quarterback. Nice throw right there. Good catch on the sideline. All right, same thing right here. He's going to be on the other boundary of the play. Nice little dig route. Look at him get his feet down. Great route running ability right there. Be able to get open. And look at him just fight for the first down. I mean, take on multiple ball carriers for the first down. Look at this right here. Same thing. Look at him toe jack swag. That's next level, man. So, again, I didn't get to mention it, but I think his route running ability is underrated. Some of them plays you see him go 4 steps, run a little hitch, come back. Good job catching the ball. He's really good at high pointing the football. You see he has multiple highlight reel catches there. Again, a lot of the throws are underthrown. That little route he ran, he kind of ran an out and up wheel route. If that's placed better, that's possibly a touchdown for Andy, easily. And then I love the way he adjusts to the football, right? Sometimes you'll see receivers get frustrated with how the throw is. A lot of those throws aren't great, right? But look at him toe drag swagger there at the end, get both feet in bounds. I mean, that's next level stuff, man. So that's a kid you got to know in Texas. Very underrated, but again, I think a guy that definitely needs some more love. I will have his HUDL tape linked below. His Twitter is AM_BLVD7. His team's Twitter is CISD_recruiting. So kid is good. I think he doesn't get a lot of recognition and notice because his team hasn't had a winning record since he's been there. But this kid is next level. He definitely has the talent to be able to play, college, whatever that may be, whether that's D1, D2, Power 5, D3. He has that talent. He should be playing on the next level. I don't know his offers, but kid is next level. All right, so we're going to roll the next tape. We got Luke Stansell. He is a quarterback from Eagles Landing Christian Academy. He is also 2027 class, young guy, 5'9", 155. Still has some time to go into his high school body. Strengths, I think, really quick for roller coverage. He reads coverage well, does a good job of not telegraphing his throws, has a good arm strength. Sometimes you see a young quarterback, they don't have the arm strength to be able to throw the ball deep, but you're going to see in the first clip, he's going to throw it deep, lead his receiver in stride, good athleticism, don't sleep on him, has good dual threat ability, makes quick reads, and also a risk taker. So let's pull it up. All right, so back to this play, going to run a little jet sweep motion over. One-on-one coverage at the top with the DB. Look at the throw. Nice job hitting him in stride, not having to wind up a little bit too much. Right here, just going to run a little bit of a QB draw in for the touchdown. Nice play right there from Stansell. Same thing right here. The play is going to kind of break down. He's going to run a little read option, read the defense pretty well here, and he's going to make a play. Look at him improvise, get to the edge. Somebody's coming up. Let him be able to stop, make a nice pinpoint throw for the touchdown. Great throw right there from Luke. Right here, he's going to run a little QB draw. Nice job making the defender miss. Look at this. Boom. Look at that move. Woo. Oh, my goodness. Great move right there. Be able to get in open space, make a play. Another one right here. Unfortunately, his team held on both of these, but look at the plays he made. Boom. Get off of me. Oh, get off of me. Breaks 2 tackles, gets deep into the secondary. Right here, moving to the right. Nice throw off the run. All right, same thing here. We're going to slow this one down. Okay, so why I slowed this down, girl, I'm going to have you go back. I want you, it's kind of underrated what he's doing here. Let's see. Okay, yes. So pause it right there, Graham, because I'm going to break this down. Okay, so again, this is not an easy throw. I wish I had kind of a thing I could circle, but at the top, you're going to see that's the corner right there, and this looks like this could be the safety of the linebacker, right? So play it a little bit, Graham, and I'm going to have you pause it. Pause it right there. So the accuracy of this throw is very important, right? And why I say that is because you have a safety / linebacker coming down. If he throws that too much inside, that's a pick 6 easily. If he throws it too wide outside, then that's also could be a potential interception or a pick 6 from the corner. So look at him fit this football in between these two players where nobody can get it. That is great. right? You don't see that a lot at a young age, 8th grader. That was great ball, being able to fit it between 2 players, not let it be a pick. Right here, he's going to get a little bit of duress. Nice pinpoint throw. Defender tries to catch it, puts it on the where receiver can get it. Nice touchdown pass right there. All right, here we go. See him again. He's going to kind of, risk taker throw, but look where he places the football. Only where the receiver can get it. Nice one-handed catch. Now, this is his spring tape right here. Playing for his team, Eagles Landing Christian. Right here, he's going to roll out. Nice little easy throw right there for the first down. Getting it out of his hands pretty quickly. That's why I said good with quick reads. All right, going to learn the jet motion. Is going to be a read option. Boom. Look at him kind of fool the defender right there, turn it into a big gain. That's about a good 20-yard gain for him. Good job reading the defender. Okay, this is another play. I want you to slow down too, Graham. So I'm going to break it down. Just pause it right there. Okay, same kind of thing, right? So the corner is trailing him, trailing the receiver right there. That safety right there is looking at him. So if he telegraphs his throw, all the safety has to do is drop back. That's a pick. So he does a good job right here. It's going to be a receiver right here across the middle of the field. He's double teamed, so there's nothing there, and then it's a high safety. So he does a good job kind of fooling the safety, and he's going to put it only where his receiver can get it. Good job right there, manipulating the safety. Here it is right here. Boom. See, the safety's already up because he's thinking, okay, he's going to go with the short throw. He manipulates him and then throws it deep. Great job right there, just being able to kind of manipulate the safety, turn it into a big gain. If he doesn't, that's a potential pick for him. Okay, right here he's going to move to the right. Nothing there. Not going to first no throw. I'm going to just turn it into a gain. Nice first down for my group and my team. Same thing here. Little read option. He's going to read it. Okay, nothing's there. He's going to stay on his target and still make a nice throw under duress, under pressure. Nobody else can get it. So, again, at his age, 8th grade, again, he's going to have time to grow into his body. But I broke down those 2 plays specifically because I think at that age, that's great. Because as a quarterback coming up now, it's not as easy to be a quarterback. And why I say this is because you have to be able to know so many things. You have to be a leader, and then you have to be able to know what the defense is doing. If you don't know what the defense is doing and what they're trying to do to you, you could be in a world of trouble, right? You could lose your position very, very easily. So on those 2 plays, he does a good job not telegraphing his throw, but kind of manipulating the safety in that one, manipulating the potential linebacker and safety and corner in that one, but putting the ball only where his receivers can get it. I think he does a great job of that. So again, good dual threat ability. Makes quick reads, good risk taker, has good arm strength at his age, doesn't have to wind up throws. Sometimes you'll see quarterbacks have to wind them up. They don't have the arm strength. Reads coverage well and does a good job not telegraphing his throws. Only weaknesses you might make it say about him, his size, continue to improve his accuracy. But other than that, has a bright future ahead, 2027 class. Interested to see how he does for his freshman year. Might play freshman, might play JV, but curious to see how he plays or what happens at Eagles Landing Christian. May be a dress out for varsity. Don't know yet. We will see. But that's number 2. We got one more we're going to do. This is going to be Drew Keller, linebacker, 2027 class from Gainesville. It's not a lot of film. This one's only about 45 seconds because he doesn't have a lot because he just came from 8th grade. He just came from Pennsylvania down to Georgia. He just has his spring tape and like one highlight. But one thing real quick that stands out to me, I think he does a good job of wrapping up at the linebacker position. He'll continue to grow into his body. As he does, he'll get better with block shedding and things like that, being able to get off blocks and make big hits and big beats in the backfield, which will increase his tackles for loss, potentially even edge rushing potentially, and creating more disruptive plays. But let's go ahead and roll his tape. All right, so right here, he's getting blocked up. He's going to get off the block. Nice job right here. Boom. Good wrap-up of the running back. All right, same thing here. Right there in the middle. Little read option. Nice wrap-up right there of the running back against Alpharetta. All right, same thing here. He's going to come up, get off the block. Boom, right there. Sticks him real good. Nice sure tackle right there. And then this is the coverage right here. Boom, here comes the running back. Look at him wrap up and do a good job of getting there, not letting the running back get anything else. So, again, there was not a lot of film. It was only a couple of clips, unfortunately. When he gets more film, I'll do a more kind of in-depth analysis of his tape. But what I can say is that sometimes you'll see linebackers, like, they'll look for just the big hit, right? seems like at a young age, Drew Keller kind of gets it like, okay, let me not just get the big hit, but let me also wrap up the potential running back or the ball carrier, right? Let me make sure like I can stop him in his tracks. He doesn't get any more yardage. I think that is very, very important because you'll see a lot of times, sometimes those running backs, they're strong enough to be able to bounce off that first initial hit, that first initial contact, and turn it into a big play. So you think you may have a potential -3 loss or a -4, -5, but then you turn around, he turned into a 10-yard game because you didn't wrap up. So real quick, just from those couple of clips, good job with initial contact when he hits a player, and a good job of make sure he wraps him up, not letting him get a lot of yardage after. I don't know how he is in coverage because that wasn't in the clip. So I don't know how he does in coverage yet. I don't know how he does rushing yet because, again, he's still young. But if I had to go off those 4 clips, great sure tackler, good with his contact, and good not letting the running back or ball carrier get extra yardage. So still got a lot of tape to show, I'm sure, for him. He has a bright future ahead of him. But those are the 3 today. Go follow him. All their Twitters and huddles are linked below. Luke Stansell, quarterback for Eagles Landing Christian. He really impressed me. Also, Andy Medina with those highlight reel plays had us kind of wowing at the office in here from Cleveland, Texas, wide receiver. And the last one was Drew Keller, linebacker from Gainesville. So let's take one more quick short break. Thank our sponsor, and then we're going to be back on the other side with a little bit of recruiting and top 10 highlights for the weekend before we close out.
Our mission has always been to support Georgia farmers. That's why we created Georgia Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, providing financial protection that farmers needed. While this remains the same today, we've grown to protect all Georgians through home, auto, and life insurance. From the very beginning and into the future, we stand for every Georgia community.
We are our Farm Bureau.
All right, guys, so let's talk a little bit about recruiting. A lot to talk about as far as this marquee talent in Georgia. Again, I slipped my mind about Walton, but Walton is one of those teams I've kind of had up there. It's so much talent in 7A. Sometimes it slips my mind, but I'm not sleeping on Walton. I know how elite they are. If I didn't think they were elite, I wouldn't have said it in my 4th of July special, that matchup between Walton and Grayson as the nightcap. I'm so excited to watch. And go back and look at that stream. It's about 83 views so far. Just real quick summary about that matchup. Talent all over the field, right? Kylan Fox, John Senius, Zion Miller, right? Anthony Davis, Tyler Atkinson, Jeff Taylor, Dylan Elder for Grayson, right? And much, much more. Then on the other side, you got Walton. You got Dan Calhoun, who I'm about to talk about. You got Jeremy Heklinski, underrated player. Should be a top 25 player in the state of Georgia. Yeah, I said it. Top 25 player in the state of Georgia. Doesn't get that love. He's barely a top 100 player, right? You still got Cameron Lloyd. You got Makari Bottle for 3-star going to Memphis. You got Jude Cascone, who's underrated. He's going to be the second tight end in that Walton offense, along with 3-star tight end, Miami of Ohio commit Hunter Till. I love what Daniel Bruner does with that group. That is the team to watch out for. That's going to be an electric matchup to end the Corky Hill Classic August 19th at 7 p.m. Go check it out. But, man, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I thought he was going to go to Alabama, right? 6'6", 365. Calhoun embodies an Alabama offensive lineman. Like, that is the prototype that comes out of Alabama. So it shocked me that Georgia got him. I mean, Georgia's doing a good job of keeping their talent in-house, but I thought for sure he was a lock to go to Bama. But, I mean, they're getting a guy that has potential, NFL potential. I don't say that a lot, but, I mean, this is a guy that, if you go back and look at his padded camps at Milton, I mean, he's driving opposing defensive linemen, linebackers in run plays. He's good in pass pro, and I feel like Walton has never had a kind of lock or kind of a guy that you're like, okay, this is a staple of our offense. So in addition to all the talent they have a staple left tackle, right? And that guy's going to be blocking Jeremy Heklinski's blind side. And he does such a good job. He's athletic. Sometimes you see bigger guys that are not athletic. This guy can move. He's a punisher. He's a mauler. He's a finisher. This guy just gets it. And I think Georgia landed. They knocked it out the box with this one. I really had him slated to go to Bama, but I mean, it surprised me he's going to Georgia. But they really knocked this one out the box. That kid is next level. We'll get to see him in person at our Corky Hill Classic at 7 p.m. when they play Grayson. So Georgia landing a marquee talent. Great job on their end. Can't wait to see him in person. All right, and then you had offensive lineman Lendrick Barber. He committed to Coastal Carolina from the Sun Belt Conference. A great get, I think, for them. I think he plays offensive lineman and defensive line. But I thought it was a great get for them. He's also athletic. I think he's about 6'4", 290 plus. Athletic as well, an offensive lineman, finisher, nasty. Just a guy that he gets it. So I think this was a big get for Coastal Carolina as they try to continue to contend in the Sun Belt Conference. And I think Sun Belt's really underrated, right? If I had to say right now, what's the best conference outside of the Power Five, the Big Five with the Big 12, Big 10, Pac-12, SEC, ACC, I will put Sun Belt right there. I feel like every year we're seeing a team from the Sun Belt upset a Power 5 team. Every single year. Last year it was like 3 teams, right? Southern, I think, beat Nebraska. Appalachian State beat Texas A&M. So the talent they're building in the Sun Belt is incredible. I love what they're doing. So it's another conference to watch. I think if you can get any of those teams, the Appalachian States, the Coastal Carolinas, the Georgia Southerns, the Georgia States, Texas State, Arkansas State, all those teams are great, and they're usually very, very competitive. So can't wait to see him play on the next level. I think he got one more year in Georgia before he goes off to school. But we got other major news as well. 4-star athlete Jalewis Solomon from Schley County is announcing his commitment date for August 5th. That is a little bit less than a month away, so I think that's big for him. He named his top 5 credible athlete for Schley County. I think he'll have another great senior season. I think he said he's going to announce it potentially maybe on 3. I'm not sure, but I know he's set his commitment date. And then also 4-star defensive back from Sandy Creek, Jacob Good, who I think he just transferred to Langston Hughes. I think that's what Bacon was saying on the other side. But he's announcing his commitment today. I don't know if he has already, but he played really good for Sandy Creek. He won him a state title there. But I think he just transferred potentially to Hughes. I have to confirm that. I can't say that for 100%. But I thought that was other big news today. He's, just that versatile player, right? Can play safety, corner, slot. Can do a lot of things well, man. And whoever's getting this kid, they're getting a really good player. They really are. So that's all I got as far as recruitment news. Y'all keep it locked. A lot of commitments going to be announced today and over the coming weeks as we head into the season. A lot of players, they try to go ahead and lock up everything prior to the season starting, which, it makes a lot of sense. You want to be able to focus on your senior year, your last kind of hoorah, your last ride with your boys you kind of grew up with, and some of your best friends. So look for more news on the way, as well as on Scoreland YouTube page and our Twitch. We might have a couple commitments as well coming on the channel to announce it. I'm not going to name no names yet, but just keep it locked for that. All right, so let's go ahead and start with my top 10 headlines for the weekend and conclude the show. Number 1, Kamari Holmes receives a Jacksonville State offer. Also has offers from Kennesaw State and Florida Gulf Coast. If you guys don't know who Kamari Holmes is, he plays basketball. Excuse me. Last season, he was the leading scorer for Archer basketball, averaged 17 points a game. Also had 5.4 rebounds and 2 assists per game as well. Big get, I think, for any team. I think he's in store for a good senior season. He's one of the best players on Archer basketball. Kept them competitive this season. Had them competing in the region along with Grayson and some other great teams. So big get for them. Jacksonville State just offered Holmes. I think he is going to have a big senior season. Number 2, former Parkview superstar Colin Hulk, projected as a top 15 draft pick in the MLB draft. That is going to be next week. Keep it locked for there. He was just featured on Fox 5 Atlanta. Colin Hulk just played football for the Parkview Panthers this last season. He's actually supposed to go to Mississippi State, but I'm not sure if he's still going to go to school, but he is projected as a top 15 draft pick. Just showed you how good he is, showed you how good the talent is. I think of the past couple of drafts, I think the past 5 drafts, 10 players have been selected from the greater Atlanta area in Georgia. So Georgia baseball is really good. It's not talked about enough, but some major prospects and players are coming from and through Georgia and playing on the next level in the MLB. So wanted to give him a shout out. Go check out that special on Fox 5 Atlanta for Colin Hulk, former Parkview quarterback and superstar on the mound, led his team to a state championship berth against Lowndes. Unfortunately, came up short, but looks like he's going to be playing in the major leagues. So that's major news right there. Number 3, Eston Simpson from Jefferson, Georgia, top pitcher on Prep Baseball Report. He's listed at 6'6", 180 pounds, large frame, high-waisted, nice shoulders, delivery very smooth. arm action. He's very extremely clean, fluid circle arm motion that drops out of the glove effortlessly. His fastball right now is tracked at an 85, 88 miles per hour. Nice gradual run and control to both edges. His curveball right now is at 68 to 71 miles per hour. His SL is 69.72, and then his CH is 81 miles per hour. So one of those pitchers does a good job. His lead arm is still developing. Shoulder rotation, he matches his slot perfectly. Good rhythm, and very sequenced arm as well. So that's a player to know. Ida Jefferson, very young guy. I think he's class of 2025, maybe 2026, but definitely has a bright future ahead. All right, number 4, rising junior Deke Cooper just picked up his second D1 offer from Kennesaw State. As a sophomore for Woodward Academy, he led them to a 22-6 record. He averaged 14 points per game along with 5.3 rebounds. Due for a big junior season. I'm pretty sure he will be one of their best players returning next season. They had a really good playoffs as well. So happy to see him land his second D1 offer. His first one was from Tulane on June 18th. So he's starting to pick up some offers as we head into next season. And then number 5, as I mentioned at the top with Bacon, exposure camp on July 29th at Central Gwinnett High School. Some of the top players around the state of Georgia will be there. In Lawrenceville, also heard some major recruiting services on 3 Rivals, ESPN potentially. Some major players are going to be there. So keep it locked for there. Good exposure for some of these players. And be able to get some media coverage as well as interviews and all that. So keep it locked for that. That might be the last major camp prior to the season starting. As you know, camp, shoulder pads and, basically padded practices are about to happen pretty soon. I think we're less than a couple of weeks from that. So that'll probably be the last major camp you'll see the rest of the way. Number 6, Buford running back Justin Baker narrows down his top 6 schools to Tennessee, Michigan, South Carolina, Georgia, NC State, and Ole Miss. Again, 4-star. You don't hear a lot about him because last year they had like a historic running back, probably the best in the last 10 years out of Georgia, and Justice Haynes was going to probably get a lot of playing time for Alabama this upcoming season. But yeah, man, he's going to be a player to watch out of that Buford backfield. Buford is known as a predominantly run-dominant team, and I think it's going to be interesting to see for Buford, right? What kind of offense will they have, right? Will they run a balanced attack now that they have the number 1 player in the country and Dylan Raiola coming as their quarterback, or will they kind of stick to their dominant run team, leaning on that offensive line with Brandon Jacobs and some of those transfers from St. Francis on the offensive line, some dudes on that offensive line? How will their offense be? Excuse me. It will be tested early and often. They're going to play, I think, St. Francis Academy to start. I think they're going to play Lipscomb Academy as well. So some good out-of-state teams. So we'll learn a lot about Buford very early in the season, and I think they're going to play North Cobb. Don't be surprised if that game is on TV. It may not be us in Peachtree TV. It could be GPB. But every year, that game comes down to late, right? It's always a 14-14 or 21-21 game at the end, and it's one drive or a turnover or a stop that kind of turns the tide a little bit and makes it, into the advantage for the other team. So that, I think they play them week 3. So that's going to be another great game. I think that's a great rivalry in the state of Georgia. 2 teams that play each other very, very, very tough and always has state championship aspirations. Number 7, our media day is right around the corner, guys. We are 20 days away. It's hard to believe. 20 days. July 26th, Wednesday in downtown Atlanta. It would be a lot of good teams, great coaches, a lot of experts on hand. I think Russie should be there. I think Chad Simmons may be there. Maybe Brendan Adams. I know probably Matt Stewart's going to be there. A lot of talent, a lot of on-air talent is going to be there. A lot of great interviews. Probably going to be experts talking all day long about football and kind of previewing guys early for the football season. So it will be great. You guys go check it out. We'll be on A&F, Atlanta News First app, streaming as well. I think it'll be aired on Peachtree TV as well. Radio will be there too, 92.9 The Game, and other major media outlets, AJC. So definitely keep it locked and check that out. Number 8, Summer League has kicked off. Some major teams have been playing, and Brandon Miller has already been in action and played 2 games. I think Jaime Vasquez has been playing really well for his team in Miami Heat as well. But this interesting thing about Victor Wembanyama. his debut is slated for Friday. He is already sold out that game that they're playing. As fans anticipate him in action, that game is already sold out for him in Las Vegas. So that really goes to show you how stoked people are to see the number one player, the number one draft pick to play in action. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to check him out Friday night if possible when he goes in action. So I thought that was really, really interesting. Number 9, man, only 1 month until football. That is hard to believe. It felt like it's kind of flown a little bit, right? We went through basketball season, lacrosse, soccer, baseball. We've done camp 7-on-7s, but we're already here, right? I feel like 4th of July is almost like that mark of school is not far away, and football season is not far away. Like after 4th of July, you're basically there. It's nothing but practices and camps and training and conditioning and getting ready for the season. So I'm excited about that. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, subscribe to us on Twitter, on YouTube as well, on our Twitch. For the official kickoff of football, for us, it's going to actually be the Sheriff's Cup, even though we have Media Day, but the official kickoff is going to be Sheriff's Cup. I think that'll be either August 4th, 5th weekend, or August 11th through 12th. Basically, August 12th. Thank you, Graham. Yes, Graham, our GM, unveiled it for me. So, if you think about that, guys, August 12th, official kickoff for Sheriff's Cup. We'll have guest speakers. Rennie Curran's supposed to be there, I think, August 11th, that Friday night. 4 great teams. I'm not going to reveal them just yet. I don't think he wants me to. We're going to have a preview coming out soon, and then we'll reveal the 4 teams that are playing. But that will be a lot of fun. But, guys, once we have the Sheriff's Cup and we have that on TV and on the Atlanta News First app, we have Corky Kell. So, think about this, guys. Sheriff's Cup, Corky Kell, and then Great Atlanta Bash, and then drive for the state title the rest of the year all the way into December. So that's basically the start of our season, August 11th through 12th. So stay tuned for that. That'll be a lot of fun. Great to see some of the young prospects in person, in action, and interview some of the players and coaches as well. And then number 10, to conclude the show today, Bryce Perry-Wright, a name to watch for on the Buford defensive line. Edric Houston gets a lot of love and praise, as he should. Highly talented prospect. I think he's a 4 or a 5-star. I think he's right now predicted to go to Ohio State. But I think that Buford defensive line, we don't talk about the positioning group enough. We've been talking about the linebackers, their secondary, the quarterback, the running back, KJ Bolden, the receiver. We have not talked a lot about the defensive line, and I think that's the position we need to watch, because if that position is dominant for them this upcoming season and Bryce Perry-Wright takes on a new fold, and obviously he's highly rated and he's a great player, but if he takes that next step this season and he's a force alongside Edric Houston, who's a senior, Buford could be potentially dangerous in the playoffs defensively, getting stops. I felt like last season they weren't what they're accustomed to being defensively, right? Usually you'll see Buford be pretty good defensively, can force turnovers, make it tough for you to move the ball on offense. I don't feel like they could reach that next level last year. But this year, that D-line will be a big part of that. If they're good as advertised and Bryce Perry-Wright takes a couple steps forward and their other defensive linemen, they could be potentially dangerous. But that's all I got for you guys for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Keeping It Real with Najeh Wilkins. We have a lot tomorrow. I'm going to try to have on Peachtree Ridge head coach. I will be filling in for Craig, who is out of town. And I'll talk to Daryl LeBerry as well for the alumni event that is July 22nd at West Forsyth High School. So keep it locked tomorrow. We'll be live again at noon Eastern. So hope you guys tune in for that. But have a great weekend. Enjoy the summer league. Enjoy another weekend with your family and things like that before we kind of head into this grind. So see you guys soon. We out. Peace.